Hey, Ghost Stories with fans. Fans, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope my mic is fixed. We've been having some technical difficulties in the past and in our current videos. So let's start this over, and I will bring in our co-host. Her name's Sarah.
Hi.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's try this over again and see if we can start from the beginning.
At least I
So
can hear
just
you
tell
now.
our viewers just a little bit. Oh yes, thank God.
Right?
So hopefully we can have everybody that came to our first live come back and stay with us this time. We have actually the mic fixed. So Sarah, who are you and what do you exactly do?
Um, well, that's a good question. I don't know really who I am. I got many talents. I do psychic work, I do pure romance, I'm a mom, I do the normal family thing. What can I say? So I try not to
That's
put myself out there like that, but it happens once in a while.
yep. I just wanted to let everybody know what you kind of do for the team. We're gonna bring in our guest Tina. Hi
Hi.
Tina, how are you doing tonight?
Good.
Good, that's good. I'm glad that this actually can work out this time with the voice. At least now you guys can hear me.
Yep.
Alrighty, perfect. So we have Kara or Kara. If I pronounce your name wrong, I apologize.
Cara, that's my daughter.
Oh, it is? Okay. So I did pronounce it wrong, didn't I?
I don't know how you pronounced it, but it's Cara.
Kara. Okay, so I thought it was Kara, so I did say it wrong, so I apologize. So Tina, what have brought you to the show? Like, have you had some experiences that you actually commented on our news feed about experiences that we wanted to talk to some fans about? So, can you tell us a little bit about those little experiences that you have?
Well, we moved from California to Minnesota, and we bought a 140-year-old farmhouse, and it was haunted. And it was like we found out later it had been set up like a town where they had across from the house there was a granary, and they had like a little chute where you would put down corn from the upstairs down in a bag, and then they had like a little post office there and stuff, and they had stagecoach road that went across the swamp and stuff. So
And
it was kind of interesting when we looked up the history of the house,
you
but
cut out for a minute, so I didn't hear.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Your
Sarah,
video cut out,
we
so we
lost
didn't
her
hear
for a
half
couple
of that.
seconds. Sarah just came back. We lost connection with Sarah,
Oh,
so she didn't.
but
She missed a little bit of that.
oh, so I was just talking about the farm, about the history of the farm, about the building across the street was called a granary, and how they had set it up like it was a post office, and how they had a little chute where you would put grain down and it would come down and you put the bag there to fill up with the grain, with the corn. So they had set it up like a
Yep.
store, and they had a stagecoach road and everything. So it was like a little town kind of. Um, but we found out the history of the house when my father kept hearing babies cry, and he was yelling up the stairs to us to be quiet and go to bed all the time, and then he'd go upstairs and then nobody was awake, and he thought he was going crazy. So he ended up going to a psychiatrist, and then they said look up the history of the house to find out what was going on. So that's why we found out
So there was
what
history,
the
pretty
history
much.
was. Yeah, that's what we found out what the history of the house was. They used the house for in when the smallpox was going on.
Oh,
So
that smallpox was a nasty disease, or back then too.
yeah. So
So I can just imagine a lot of deaths possibly too.
yeah, and so we had a lot of things going on with babies crying and stuff. And we also did a seance there when us kids we were just fooling around, and we got all excited about going down the road because the Ouija board that we were playing with told us to go down the road and there would be a graveyard. And so we're playing around and we're walking down the road thinking that there's never going to be a graveyard down the road because, we just live down this farm road, There's not going to be a graveyard there, but there was a graveyard and there were baby graves there. And so it was really shocking.
I can imagine seeing children graves. I would just be in your same shoes, probably be like, um, that's kind of, it's sad, but then you're like creeped out too because you're like, I never would have expected to see a child's grave.
A lot of them. There was not just one or two. It was quite a few. It was like 6 or 7. So
That
it's a
reminds
small
me of a time
graveyard.
when we went to just like Edinburgh Manors. There was a couple kids there too. So yeah, I can just imagine how you felt too, as I felt when I walked into that cemetery.
Though the fact that there was a cemetery was scary enough because a Ouija board is just like a game to us. We didn't really think that it was telling the truth, So
Yep.
that was just kind of weird. But
I think a lot of people
Is there
assume that when they're playing the Ouija board, it's a game, but it's sometimes not. It's a little more serious than just a game.
yeah,
exactly?
yeah, I had a
Missed a couple
few
encounters with
instances with it. Go ahead.
Crystal says. Oh, I was just saying that that Ouija boards. I had some experiences with Ouija boards, and they're not the greatest if you don't know how to use them correctly. Like they kind of will scare you once in a while. Oh, the
Mm,
equipment cam just went off. The touch radar just went off after I just said that the Ouija boards can actually cause fear and harm to you as well. I mean, I
Well,
don't
and the thing
know
people don't realize,
much about them.
like when you're doing a Ouija board, you're calling a spirit, so you're inviting them in. And what you're doing is you're actually could invite anything dynamic. There's so many possibilities with that. You're asking for trouble when you're playing with a Ouija board, especially in a place you know is haunted. Take it from experience.
yeah. Well,
They can be used for good.
I was jealous because my brother and sister was playing with it the whole time and they would get it to work, but when I would try it wouldn't work. So I got mad and I tried to burn it on the stove and it wasn't good. And then it got mad at me and then it started twirling around like that and then it kind of came at me, the planchette thing or whatever. So yeah, that was interesting because I didn't think that it would have the force to come off the board to like come at me like that, but it did. So that was an interesting experience.
What's kind of interesting about your story is we're in the middle of a pandemic right now. And so you're coming out with this story about the smallpox. It's kind of a close to home story right now, if you think about it. And so I'm not surprised your equipment's going off like crazy because we probably have some new souls that have gathered along with and then talking about smallpox, talking about the Spanish flu, all of that. It really doesn't surprise me.
I was
Yeah.
actually going to talk about bringing in the equipment cam just so you guys can actually all see what we have going on here. So then you guys can actually watch it at the same time when we're talking about different things. So if you look to your far right of the video, which is this piece right here, is the EMF reader. So I will bring it up a little bit to the thing so everybody kind of sees it a little bit. It's kind of hard to do it on the video here, but it's an EMF. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of feedback in my ear here. This is our touch. So basically, any spirits that are around it or want to touch it, all they have to do is just literally put their finger on it or just touch it and it will make a noise. And then we have the spirit box that's right here, which we will get to that later on in our episode tonight. So basically what these are, this is a new thing that we're trying to bring out. We are thinking about doing an equipment cam with our ghost stories on Friday nights. Tonight was a special episode. Thank you so much, Tina, for being our first guest for this kind of, you know, let's say what strategy or a solution or a test that we're trying. And we would like to bring it
You
out
call her
to
a
our
guinea
fans
pig.
and show everybody. No,
Yeah.
I gotta give you credit.
No, I would say no. I appreciate it. It actually works out. Not to cut everybody off, but I have somebody that just popped in that says, "Hi, Tina, Julie."
That's my sister.
And Super Mac D2. Sorry, not D. I have a story. Please message us after the show, and we would love to hear your story. And your daughter says it would be cool to have you guys actually go out to that tiny cemetery. It's pretty cool. Might get something. I got one photo years ago of a man's face along the tree line. Oh, that's very
Yeah.
interesting.
It's in Isanti. So,
Oh, our hometown.
yeah. It's on Lever Street.
That's very interesting. Never heard of it. I'm actually really shocked that I never heard of it.
It doesn't have a name. It doesn't have a name to the
Is it like,
cemetery. It is small.
so it's like literally just in the middle of nowhere?
Yep. It doesn't have like a name
Okay,
to
well,
it.
that
It doesn't
explains.
have like a gate. It doesn't have anything to it.
Well, if it's a smallpox cemetery, it's not going to have the dates, honestly. And the graves you're going to find, yeah, they'll mostly be children because they're hardest hit by that. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I
Well,
might have to look into that because I would actually like to find that place. I love history. I love, just going out and adventuring. So that would be a really cool place to go check out.
yeah. I could find out the address for you.
Yeah, definitely
If I
after
could
the
fig-
show, keep us posted with that. So we,
Yeah.
And David cut out again.
I'm cutting out.
Okay, David. Yeah, David cut out completely again.
Oh,
we had a finger on the
Okay,
fingerprint.
here you go.
Guys,
Okay.
did you see that?
did you want to hear another story of the farm?
Yes, definitely. Keep rolling with the stories. Actually, that's what
Okay.
the purpose of this show is, actually hearing about these paranormal stories that we have never heard before.
Well, one night, me and my sister were upstairs and we heard all these noises, like the TV and the radio and everything, like full blast going. And we looked downstairs and the lights were on and we didn't know what was going on. So we crept down the stairs. And as we went down the stairs, it was still going on. But when we got down to the bottom stair, everything turned off. So then we, of course, ran upstairs scared to death. And there was no explanation for it. So that was kind of weird.
So you were literally just walking and the lights just literally go off?
Everything went off. The radio, the TV, and all the lights.
Oh, so every
It was on
electronic
full
device
blast.
that's in the home.
How
Oh,
far are
wow.
you from the cemetery?
About a fourth a mile.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me too. I mean, it's a very good possibility too that some of these spirits are passing through. And so that's what's causing the interference with electricity. It's what's causing the interference with the radio. And sometimes some of them just want to be known that they're there and they just want to be heard that they're there and they'll disappear as quickly as they came through.
Mm-hmm.
That is very true. If you are close to a cemetery, people are known to have spirits that are from the cemetery actually go through their home. Like, if you have any mirrors, sometimes they can use those as portals to a different
Really?
dimensional world.
Oh, I never heard of that.
Well, with Wicca, like we use mirrors as scribes to see the future and stuff. So it's not far fetched that you could have a spirit that would transmit that way as well. I mean, I know that there's Satanists I've known that have used mirrors to actually transport demons onto the physical plane.
Wow.
So after everything shut off in the house, after you guys went upstairs, what happened next?
Well, I don't know. We didn't come out of our room. We weren't coming out of our room.
You know, if it was your first time ever having an experience, I could see why. I mean, that is something frightening to have happen to you that is unexplained.
Yeah. We used to have a figure that would come from the laundry room into the dining room that was a like a white ghostly figure of a woman. And she did that all the time. And my grandpa, who did not believe in ghosts, could not explain it. And oh yeah, Julie's saying we had heard children playing balls bouncing and stuff like that around the time in the house. That's true. But Grandpa didn't believe in ghosts at all, and he could not explain it. What he saw, the woman, when he saw her going back and forth, it was like a flash of light you'd see out of the corner of your eye. And he kept saying that's what it was. It was a flash of light. And we're like, yeah, sure. Over and over again, we keep seeing the same thing. So we had doors that would open and close and just things like that.
I mean, the interesting thing too is sometimes what you're gonna find is it's not always a spirit or a ghost. Sometimes it's just a residual soul that's rested there. It's the energy that's there. And sometimes there'll be like an adult mother figure attached to these children. So being that the children's in the cemetery and it's not that far away, I wouldn't be surprised if she attached herself to those other spirits. That wouldn't shock me at all, especially if they're children.
Yeah.
Yep, as Sarah was saying, it's a residual haunting, which I would highly agree with. For those things that have been happening to you guys, I would say it would be a residual haunting, just by the sound of everything that's happening. Now, if it was a poltergeist, it would be a whole different level of playing field. If they throw things, move furniture all the way around in different areas of the room, that's a poltergeist activity.
No, we didn't experience any of that. We heard children playing like the bouncing balls and playing and stuff, but it wasn't moving stuff, no.
Honestly, sometimes how I
Okay, so
deal
it
with that
wasn't.
energy is I use sage or I ask the spirit to leave.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best thing you can do. And sometimes with the energy, that's all you can do is cleanse the area.
I agree with Sarah.
Kara says the woman in the window. Oh, that's the story about the when we had a flat tire when we were moving because we couldn't afford the house was really big and we couldn't afford to heat the upstairs. We used to close off the upstairs, and if pretty soon we couldn't afford to even live there anymore, so we were moving. And then the night that we moved, the very last car that was leaving got a flat tire. And then as we were trying to fix the flat tire, we looked up in the attic window and somebody was holding the curtain open and nobody was in the house. So that was really, really creepy. So that was one that you couldn't explain. So
How
yeah.
did she look in the window? Like, was it a very hazy kind of see-through figure?
The woman in the window, I only know of a woman in the window as when we had the seance, we also had we went into the attic and we had all of us had seen a woman in the window as well. And yeah, hazy, and you could only see from the head on down to like the knees kind of. You couldn't like see her feet at all. And you couldn't like see through her. She was like yeah, kind of transparent. Wasn't like a real person. And she had something on her head.
Thank you for that word. That's actually what I was trying to find. Was transparency. Sorry. And something
Yeah,
about in her hand?
on her head. She had like a hat or something on.
Oh. Hmm.
What did she look
She
like
looked like
behind the
behind the
curtain?
curtain.
I don't know. We didn't see her. And the night that we had the flat tire, we just saw a hand. We didn't see the woman. We saw the hand holding the curtain open. The time that we saw the woman
So
in
kind of
front
just.
of the. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I forgot my.
The time that we saw the woman in front of the attic window was a different time. Sarah timing out or?
That's what I was wondering. I don't see her anymore. She kind of disappeared. Hmm. I don't really like this every time I do a live and we have the spirits mess with us. It doesn't really help us, continue the live and finish it.
Yeah, but you can't really help it.
Because no, because they want to be known. I mean, who wouldn't want to be known? Oh, we lost Sarah, but she will be back. She'll pop back in here, which she just
Yeah.
popped up in the backstage. So hold on.
Sorry, internet's been
There
bad
we
all
go.
day in
We got her
Cambridge.
back.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a day in Cambridge.
No, that's fine. It's with that snow. I mean, it doesn't also really help with the connection either with the satellites and stuff like that. No, I guess the radar, the touch went off on the screen up there. I don't know if you guys caught that right after I said that it, messing with
Mhm. It's the
the
snow.
connection. Just for our fans to know that when you guys pop in, please let Facebook know and give them permission with StreamYard. We will not be able to see your name if you don't. It just shows Facebook user. Let's see. And just to let our fans know, if you guys see anything in the equipment camera that we can't see when we're talking, feel free to comment in the comments below and just let us know what you see. So Tina, with those stories being said, would you feel like you would be a firm believer into the paranormal?
Oh, I am. I do believe in paranormal. I've had more experiences than just the farm, but um, I do believe that there are spirits.
That's good
I've
to
had
know
a few
because
close friends that have died.
same here. We know how it. Okay, something's not. Whoa. Okay, hold on, guys. See, they're really messing with our cameras. That one was a
Oh yeah.
frozen face shot there. I was kind of wondering why you were froze there for a couple seconds.
Oh, you guys completely closed out on me.
Oh, that's weird. See, this keeps happening. But that's
Yeah, it's
okay.
been
We'll bring in
happening since I
another
logged
guest
in.
or another. This is the first time this ever happening, like on our lives. Like usually in the beginning, it will mess with us, but now throughout the whole live, it's going to keep going. But that's
Oh
okay.
yeah, it's gonna
We
keep
have
messing with
another
you.
fan that would like to. Hi, William. I always just give nicknames right away when I see names. Come on by. We will always love to have friends on our Facebook page. And nice to know that we have a friend from Texas watching us.
Yes, I have lots of friends from Texas actually.
Texas is a good place. I have never been there, but I heard it's a really good place.
Oh, go visit the Alamo.
Oh, Jade is actually our second investigator. She's on. She just said hello. She's the
Hey,
second lead. So, Tina, did you have any experiences where it was possibly demonic at all?
Yes. One time I was working, I worked for a transportation company, and what I did was I went in with boxes and I would pack up their belongings, and then the guys would grab the boxes and put them into the truck. And the ride that I had set up to bring me back home was on a different job, so I had a choice of sitting up front with the guys that were pretty ripe from working all day long. Let's just put it that way. Um, and it was really tight quarters, or I could sit in the back of the truck. So I decided to sit in the back of the truck with all the furniture, which was kind of dangerous, but everything was tied down, and I decided to go back there. And it was dark and it was really, really scary because I'm not afraid of the dark, but what I saw was something dark coming towards me, and I didn't know what it was. And it kept coming towards me, and I was freaked out. And all I did was pray. And then I couldn't even pray anymore because I was too afraid to pray. So then I started singing Jesus Loves Me because that's the only thing I could think of because I was too afraid to pray. It just kept coming right at me. It was just this big black thing, like it looked like smoke kind of. and it was coming towards me. And then I just kept singing the song and singing the song and singing the song. I closed my eyes because I got too scared. And then eventually it went away. That's the worst that I've ever had as
By any
far as
chance,
demonic.
when did you at all see like possibly what the height was by any chance? Was it about maybe 8 feet?
Yeah, it was pretty tall.
Okay, so that does validate pretty much because I've seen, plenty of demonics in my day. I used to live on the property where I used to live, and when they have red glowing eyes, there's a problem.
I didn't see eyes. I just saw the black smoky figure and coming towards me, and it just, as it came closer, you could feel evil. It just scared me. The woman was moving she was originally from Italy, and she was moving back to Italy, and all of her belongings and stuff were from Italy. So I just figured it had something to do with that.
Sounds very interesting. I mean, that would be definitely a scary sight to see. Something
Yeah,
especially following you, coming closer and closer every time you move away.
I didn't have anywhere to move. Everything was strapped down, and I was in a
You were
small area. I was in the back of a truck. There
so
was
I was
nowhere
gonna
to
say
go.
you're pretty much getting cornered.
Yep.
Oh, so pretty much cornered.
Yep.
That's not a good sign. What do you think about that, Sarah?
Me personally, I've had experiences with demons and I've actually felt physically paralyzed, like held down, like physically trapped. And so when you say that you were physically trapped, I can kind of sympathize with that. And it's an awful feeling. And I had to actually use the Hail Mary, believe it or not. And this is coming from a witch, but I have a Catholic background, so it's like thankfully I had that in my pocket. But with demons, it's a whole different playing field and it's a different ball game. You're now dealing with someone who, well, not even someone, something who has this dark, twisted energy and is going to take it out on you. Anything that you feel, any little bit of anger, it's going to take it and amplify it. It's going to use everything you fear against you. And it's going to make you terrified to the point where you might even pee your pants. Who knows? It depends on how strong they are. And some demons you have to call out by their name. So you got lucky that you were able to escape that situation, maybe a little traumatized, but not fully traumatized, I guess would be the best way to put that.
Yeah. I was lucky it went away. I was like, I didn't know what to do, especially because I was in the back of a truck going down the road.
Well, and the interesting thing I find most often is, especially people who believe in Jesus and God and Catholics and Christians, is demons attach themselves to them more often than somebody like me. And believe it or not. And it's because of their faith. And it's because how can we corrupt this person? How can we take their positive light and turn it dark? How can we make them shake and fear us? How can we twist it so that they are corrupted now? And that's the best way I could explain a demon energy.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
See, the time that I had my experience, it was literally about maybe 8 feet tall, maybe 9 feet. It was on the front porch of my own home, and my wife actually seen it, and I was at the end of the driveway trying to figure out what's going on because I thought maybe it was somebody trespassing because where I used to live it was all country. So she calls me and says, "Hey, are you on the front porch?" I'm like, "No, I'm at the end of the driveway." And then when she saw the red eyes, she's like, "Yeah, that's definitely not him. That's definitely not David." So I definitely had my runarounds. I mean, I've been to some places that had demonics when we've been into our investigations. Right now we're due, because of the winter, the snow, we're kind of grounded at this point, but that's okay. we get to do more of these shows and get to talk to you guys and talk to more fans that love to come up on the show and talk about their personal experiences with the paranormal, because it's a really big thing that needs to be known. That paranormal investigating is not something to mess with unless you know what you're doing. Because people say, "Oh, spirits can't attack me." Yes, they can. Yes, they can. I've been personally scratched, smacked, touched. My shirt gets tugged sometimes when I'm walking down the halls by myself, and there's no way to explain your shirt going this far back from your back. There's no way to explain that unless there was some kind of hook or something there to grab onto your shirt. So, I mean, yes, I've had my runarounds. I've been through a lot of those things, but yes, what Sarah said, you were lucky because not many people can get away from them. That one was just there just to scare you, pretty much, to get a rise out of you.
Mhm.
At least that's my opinion. I think it was there to try to scare you to show who's boss.
Yeah.
And I think that's my opinion too. Like I said, anything that's dark like that, a demon, they're going to want to try to make you believe. Because the more you believe in that dark entity, the more power they have. The more it seemed like with witchcraft, the more you believe in it, the more power it has. So when people are asking me, well, how do I get rid of a curse? How do I blah, blah, blah? Quit believing in it. It's that simple. Let it pass, let it go. And for you to say a prayer that let that entity know that you have Jesus in your heart and you're taking it away. You're sending it away from you. You believe in God, so therefore it's not going to be able to corrupt you. And it just shows your faith and your power in your faith.
Yeah.
So, just for a couple seconds, does any of our fans that are watching right now have anything they would like to ask Tina? Any questions that we haven't discussed yet? We'll give a couple seconds for any questions to come in. Is there any time in your point of your um, traveling, have you seen a cryptid at all? Like maybe Bigfoot, or I don't know what they call them, but the ones that have really weird looking legs that kind of go backwards and they run really funny. There's a weird name for it. Jade said that she'll do a screenshot and hopefully we can, or screen share and hopefully we can show everybody. But we actually ran across that at the Boyd House. It's a type of a cryptid, and it's a really long word that I cannot pronounce because I'm not very college professional professor to be able to pronounce those words. And according to my touch screen over here on the table at the equipment table, agreed with me because it decided to go off right after I said that.
Is that like a type of animal or a?
Um, if you want to call it that, yeah. They're kind of, I don't know how to explain it. We're bringing up the big screen behind me, and we're going to see if we can project it for everybody to see what it is or what it looks like. So just give that for a couple seconds,
Woohoo, way
unless
to
somebody
promote
brings it up and
Amazon.
actually. Yeah, hey, Amazon's in the back screen. We're promoting Amazon right
They
now.
owe you now.
They kind of owe me some money, but that's okay. I'm not worried about the money. I'm here to actually help people. I actually want to get the word out there. That's one less worry on their mind is the money for the team. It's more for our clients that we want to, talk to them and actually get to know them and know their story. Because we're paranormal investigators. We like to know these things. We like to know about other people's experiences. So that's why we do these radio shows. Now we got YouTube on the background.
I know I was gonna be a smart ass and say something, but
No, you're good. If I'm a little off tonight, don't mind me. I don't know what's going on with me tonight. I'm a little off on my game. I think last
it's
week kind of got
location
me.
we're in.
Yeah, there's one particular spirit here that does not like me doing these lives. I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. Like they will do whatever it takes to try to shut me down and shut the live down, like they did on the first live. So it happens a lot. So I apologize, Tina.
I wonder why.
He wasn't very camera oriented person. He didn't really like to be
He
on
wants
camera much.
he wants David to know he's there, but he doesn't want to be called out and broadcast and shown. So that's kind of a demon trait too, is they're gonna hide. They're gonna hide in the shadows, they're gonna hide in the dark. They'll make themselves known when they want to fear you or want you to fear them rather, and they want that fear element. But the minute they're called out, they like to run. The minute that they're seen for what they are, they run.
And that's where I'm actually kind of thinking because, oh my God, Sarah, the touch just went off right after you said that. Literally, I don't know if anybody can see that red screen when there's a fingerprint that pops up on there. It literally shows like a green outline of a finger print. So that was pretty cool how that came out at the same time.
Oh yeah, he'll keep messing with stuff back there just to play with it, just to let you know that he's around still. I'm surprised you're actually able to do the feed still, but I got knocked off the channel once already, so obviously he doesn't like what I have to say.
It's weird how it happens. William says, I think it's the devil that is scaring us because he doesn't want to believe in God because ghosts are not real. The Bible doesn't say that God created ghosts, and a lot of churches covered that Harry Potter and the flash pastors.
Hold on 1 second, guys.
Okay. William, can you elaborate just a little bit more on what you're meaning? Okay, I think we got everything going here. Sorry, it's taken them so long. We have like literally 5 devices connected to the Wi-Fi network right now at this point.
Okay, sorry, I had to grab my charger. My phone is dying.
No, you're fine. Okay, so she did find it. All right, let's see if we can bring this up here. Okay, see the one that looks like a table kind of onto the right?
Yeah.
The second row, all the way to the right, the next one to the left, right next to the table looking thing. That's what I was talking about. It kind of looks like a human/goat legs, but backwards, like an ostrich legs. Yeah,
Oh, like
that one
Pam.
right there. Yeah, something like
Almost like it's imitating the devil.
Yeah.
pretty much, but it's like a creature and it runs funny and it's weird. I watched videos on it a lot. This is what I seen at my old place with the red eyes. The one literally, I don't know, right here in the middle. So right there, this guy right here in the middle here. That's what I saw. I grew up with for at least 23 years of my life, and I'm 27 now.
Boy, it's scary.
It is. Hey, Brian from Short Bus Paranormal, really good friends of ours. We'll be live with them actually on Saturday. Thanks for coming in, Brian. So yeah, that's actually what I was talking about when I said cryptids. The Boyd House had photos of cryptids on
Don't
an
put the
actual
dolls
book.
back up.
Oh, don't put the dolls back up.
No, my phone. I didn't do that.
Jade said her phone. She didn't do that.
I
Like
didn't even touch
she didn't even touch it. It moved by
I was
itself.
trying to go to this one.
Well, it's funny because I have a thing against dolls, and it's not just because of Chucky. I just have a thing against dolls. They're creepy altogether, and until you've seen one move on its own, no explanation, you understand why.
Yeah, like the Edinburgh Manor. A clown doll moved by itself. The head, at least.
There's the Mothman.
This
Yikes.
on our screen is called the Mothman. Has anybody heard of the Mothman?
Nope.
But everybody probably has heard of Slender Man.
No.
That's another story that
It's an urban
I have
legend that the
never.
kids have been. It's been passed around. It's like you lure two friends to their death and kill them in order to be with Slenderman. It's a long urban legend. There was actually a story on, I believe, ID or something like that, where they were talking about a girl who actually tried to murder one of her friends over that whole thing. So
Actually, I heard the same thing you were just talking about. Actually, where she lured her friend out. I think it was in Wisconsin. Actually, to be honest.
She lured her friend out to kill her?
yeah, she actually failed at killing her. Her friend survived, but it was in promise that she was gonna go be living with Slender Man and she'd have all this freedom and candy and what. It's just a big urban legend that has spread around the internet like wildfire. If you look it up on YouTube, you can find it. I mean, my 8-year-old knows about Slender Man, and that's not really something I want her to know about, but she's been doing her digging. What can you say? 8-year-olds talk.
Wow.
It's a really crazy urban urban myth. That's an urban legend that everybody still brings up to this day. Is Slenderman real? And people are bringing up yes, but then I have never seen the Slenderman, and I don't want to. Never will. I mean, at least as long as I'm alive, hopefully.
You see the background?
Can you guys see the background by any chance?
Mm-hmm. The
So just I
pictures of
wanted to
the,
bring these up. The t-shirts, yes. So I just
yeah.
wanted to bring these up just really quick. These are our limited edition t-shirts that are actually up for sale right now. They are $19. This logo right here, as you see, will never be on a product again. This logo is disappearing. And December 31st is the last day to get your shirts. And we do have a coupon right now for $2 off plus $2 off of shipping. So a total of $4 off your total grand price of $19. So if anybody's interested in shirt, please comment after the show is over with. I just wanted to bring that up, and
You can comment now, but
you can comment now. And there is an order link if you go to our Facebook page. It's kind of hard to see the order link from all the way down there, but it's paranormal.company.site.
It doesn't have the sizes I noticed.
Yes, we actually have multiple different sizes, but we only have sizes up to XL. The other anything over XL we would have to pre-order. Like we would have to put it in for an order. We actually sold out of all the
Okay.
bigger shirts. So
Right.
all we have is XL to small as of right now. We are working on getting masks because of COVID-19. We want everybody to be safe and try to be safe as much as we can. So we do have our own custom mask coming out here. They're ready for order. You guys can go right to our website and order them. Coffee mugs, sweaters, the front of the sweater with a different logo on it, and we have a lot more coming up here soon. We're just in the process of launching our merchandise site. So with the last couple minutes I see that we have on the screen, would you guys like to work with the equipment or would you guys rather do more stories?
I don't care. I can play with equipment.
Yeah, let's do
All
the
right,
equipment.
so we'll do the equipment. We'll do the spirit box. So I am going to go mute on my end, but the equipment camera is going to go with the mic. So you guys will hear everything in the background. All right, so this
that you hear is
that
a
you
spirit
hear
box.
is a spirit box.
So what a spirit box does
So what a spirit box does
spirits be able to
is help
transmit
spirits be able to transmit words back to us
and be able to talk
and
to
be able
us
to
just
talk
like
to
a
us just like a digital voice recorder. Can you guys hear the spirit box?
Yep.
I can hear it, but I can't hear it clear. My thought is it's saying some things that it wouldn't normally say.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna turn it up really quick.
All right, hold on, I'm gonna turn it up really quick.
There we go. So this spirit box,
So this spirit box,
if there's any
if
spirit
there's any spirits
in this room with
in
us,
this
can
room
you
with
speak
us,
through
can
that
you
spirit
speak
box
through
and
that
tell
spirit
us
box and tell
who
us
you are?
who you are?
I don't think it wants to be called out by its name.
Okay, if you don't want to call it by a name, can you just say some kind of word? Or touch that red screen?
Why don't you even just say David's name?
Oh yeah, say my name. It's really light, but you guys can't really hear it. But we heard a no come through it.
I don't think it likes you, David. I hate to tell you that.
Now this, I know who this is. And
I don't think it
and
likes
I
me
know-
either, honestly.
All right, let's try a different method. If you don't want to talk to the script box,
Oh,
did you see it?
Mm-mm.
All right, so this we're gonna try this red screen. It's a touch screen. All they literally have to do is just touch it, and it leaves a green. Ways.
we can do this too.
I don't know if it's going to actually want to hit on that. I mean, I can aggravate it, but that's about it.
Oh, he's shutting my live down, guys. All screens just went blank.
You're not
Okay,
messing with
well,
something
maybe
that's
this
the
will-
spirit.
No, I kind of figured. I've been just always trying to figure out who he is. Or where he came from.
I did not touch that. I'm on the light.
That's Jade in the background. She's working equipment.
I was trying to figure out what way they could see it better.
Here, I'll do this. There we go. I brought the equipment cam myself out. Are you friendly? Can you touch the screen?
They're not very strong here, so we don't get much.
Oh, it's kicking Sarah.
Interesting thing is, I just got frozen out again.
Yeah. I was wondering why I didn't see you there for a couple seconds.
Like I said, he doesn't want to be called out.
Talkative.
You don't want you to know he's there, but he doesn't want you to call him out. I don't think he likes attention because he's a coward and he likes to run.
Well, if I'm thinking this is of the right person, he was in the military.
I think this is something else. I don't think it's someone. I think it's something else.
So possibly demonic. Is that what you're...
Yeah, Jade and I've had this conversation before.
Oh. Okay. Well, he used to be a person.
I don't see a person.
I don't think it was the person that passed away in April.
I think the person that scratched your neck is different than what's around you right now.
It's the one that passed away in April.
Okay.
It was like 3 days after my birthday.
Normally we have good responses.
They were doing it before the live. And we weren't
Like all the
in here.
equipment was literally going crazy before we started the live the first time.
I think it actually got a little too
Maybe we keep
overworked up, maybe.
we'll keep doing the equipment on Friday nights. What do you guys think?
Friday, Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's not Friday, but still. Today was just the test.
My daughter just came out and told me she knows what Slender Man is. That's awesome.
It's a guy that has no face. And he has a white
no.
face, black
I'm not
tux,
talking to them.
and he has black pants. And he's tall.
He's a demon.
I know that's a demon. Because I watch him on YouTube.
Did we just really hear about YouTube?
No, she was talking about Slender Man on YouTube. How he's tall, he has no face, he's, what'd you say,
He has a
thin?
black tux. and
Oh, he has a black
pants.
tux and black pants. That's from an
Yeah, that's
8-year-old.
definitely
And skin's white, she said.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's definitely Slender Man, all right, with a suit, pinstripe suiting with white tie, I think, or black tie, and the equipment cam goes off when I ask that question. See, after I put the
Interesting enough.
equipment cam on mute,
Yeah, I can
then
see
he wants
it,
to do
but
something.
okay.
Well, I think I might need a whole new location to do these lives, guys.
Yeah,
Maybe I should
probably.
start doing lives at, maybe some really cool places. What
Well,
do you
we're not
think?
that
Maybe
far
we
from the
should go.
cemetery either, so I mean, right over here is
No,
not very good.
That's
maybe we
ghost
can
store everywhere.
maybe go live at that cemetery.
Yes, my children are very used to their mother
I know what
being
Momo
around all
is.
this stuff and mom doing her own little
Mom, I know what
investigations.
Momo is.
That's actually same with my kids. They're actually starting to get into it because kids are more acceptable to the paranormal. I'm not going to lie, they are more acceptable to it. They can see the paranormal, they can talk to them more than an adult can usually. Kids are very or what is it? What's the word I'm looking for, Sarah? Help me here. I'm
Intuitive.
freezing. Thank you.
Intuitive. But yeah, like
Yeah, there
I've
you go.
been since I was probably my daughter's age, a little bit younger, I've been able to see spirits. I've been able to talk to angels. I've talked to, I know, honey. I've talked to a few relatives recently. I had a friend who passed away this year, about a month before my aunt. And she came to me in a dream, which is interesting because none of my dead people come to me in dreams. And she actually came to tell me about my aunt passing. And it was one of the strangest experiences I've ever had. Weird thing is, I was picking up my daughter Jade. I sent my husband off to go get something in the dream, and all she said is, "Hey, honey." And she had her makeup on perfectly. I could just see her, I could smell her, I could touch everything. It was just the creepiest thing. But that's something that even my kids have started picking up on. My 21-year-old says she's been able to see ghosts since she was probably about 4 or 5. I know I've caught her talking to them before too when she was that little. So it doesn't surprise me.
It's very, it's very common for kids to tell you that they see somebody or talk to somebody that is not physically there. My boys do it all the time. They come to me sometimes and say that they see something, or you catch your kids just literally staring at something at the wall or staring just in the space. And you're like, okay, I wonder what they're looking at. So
And
literally we
animals are
have,
the same way too. I mean, if you got a cat or a dog, you'll catch them barking at something weird, acting nutty for some weird reason, or like poofing up like somebody walked into the room. I had a cat that would jump over doorsteps. Cat, you know.
My cat that passed away.
Yeah, he likes to jump over doorsteps, named Loki. But yeah, so it's not uncommon. Kids, cats, dogs. I mean, animals will definitely pick up on spirits and they'll start acting strange around them for sure.
Yeah, Cara
Yep,
had
like
an
my-
imaginary friend named Varilla, but that was really creepy at the farm when she had the friend named Varilla because she used to talk to her across the table from me, and the conversation started kind of making sense. And I was like, okay. So I always sent her outside to play because when it started making sense to me, then I started thinking maybe it was like, a ghost instead of an
that
imaginary friend.
I think my son actually has a imaginary friend. I was told about it. He was sitting out in the yard just literally playing with the toys, and then he starts talking to somebody,
Weird stuff.
like he's actually having a conversation with an actual human being, kind of, conversation, like we are. Oh my god, we lost the equipment cam.
Well, and that wouldn't surprise me if it was a demon or something, because they will shift for kids. They will shift into a familiar friend, face, whatever, just to be at their level and kind of win them over and slowly turn their energy against their parents, slowly make them angry against their parents. And I mean, and you hear some weird stories about, oh, kids, attempting to kill their parents. Some of that, no, some of that's mental illness, and some of it is actually the work of a demon, believe it or not, because they will slowly lure the child in. And I've actually heard a few stories that I question, but it wouldn't surprise me if that was something that would be popping up like that.
No.
There, we got the equipment cam back here, guys. We literally only have 4 minutes left of the episode tonight. I just want to say thank you all for coming in tonight. Thank you, Sarah, for being here as a co-host. This is the first show. I'm so glad that you came tonight, for you at least, for the first show. Tina, a special thank you for you to come in, considering I don't know if this was out of your comfort zone or not, but this was something that you were actually our very first fan from our page to come on live on our show. Like, we used to do all just paranormal teams, psychics, stuff like that. But now we're opening it up to our fans. We want our fans to come to us and tell us about their stories. Maybe we can make these stories make sense to them. Maybe if they're still questioning what they saw, what they have experienced. Like the screen behind us, we're gonna start doing our evidence ourselves and start showing pictures, videos of our, evidence that we have captured at these locations. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, Tina, for coming on tonight. This was, even though with all the problems that we had and with the cat catching my tongue a lot, for some odd reason, I like to stutter today. So I apologize to everybody out there that probably had a good laugh, but
Yeah,
okay.
thank you, Tina.
Yeah. Thank you
It was
for
a-
having me.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, and we would like to have you guys come on again. Maybe next time we can go to the cemetery. If anybody is noticing that EMF is going crazy, now it's going to stop. I was just talking, and it literally was just going nuts.
Because you literally noticed it. So it's going to stop when you're not paying attention. It's gone off a couple times while you were talking, just so you know.
Oh, okay. So I'm not the only one that has captured that. That's good. I'm glad that everybody did see that. So yeah, it was a really good time, even though we had all the complications. Our fans are saying it's all good. Don't worry about the complications. That's what, if we didn't have complications, what kind of paranormal team would we be? If you think about it, you always have to have those little ups and downs in order to have success. In order to have success, you have to have those little minor malfunctions. So yes, so I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention. Tomorrow night, we will be with Cat Paranormal of Minnesota. Kim, the founder, is going to be with us tomorrow night. And then on Saturday, we will be talking with Short Bus Paranormal at 8 o'clock on Saturday night. So stay tuned for Afterlife Our radio story. Oh my God, I can't even talk tonight.
It's okay. It
Just
happens
wanna
to the best of us. Take a breath.
This is always happening. Well, this is the first time I have had this bad of a glitch, if you as well call it. So I just want to
What
let
can I
everybody
say?
know
I do
thank
it
you
to
so much for
everybody.
staying. Oh, tell me about it. I can't just, okay, I gotta go. Thank you all tuning in tonight for Ghost Stories with Tina. Thank you so much for coming in. Tomorrow night, we'll be live again at 10 o'clock. Stay tuned. Thank you all for coming in. Thank you, Sarah, for everything. Thank you, Tina. Have a good night. And we will be back with ghost stories next week.
Night.